Hello students, before we start our chapter, I would like to request you all to watch our introductory 2 videos given by me so that you will be clear about the 3-step strategy to do Dhamaka in physics exams. We have given the videos in the description box, or you can just click on our videos displayed at the end of this video for either introductory 2 videos or the next videos. Okay then, let's enjoy physics by Mr. Patel, who has a long, profound experience of 29 years of teaching physics in Sainik School, Balachand.
Now let us see the example to calculate the density. 13.1 on page number 442. Given the mass of iron nucleus as 55.85 atomic mass unit U and atomic mass number is 56, find the nuclear density. So mass of the iron nucleus is 55.85 unit, that is at U, that is atomic mass unit, and that is equal to 55. One atomic mass unit is 1.66 into 1.660539 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg, and mass of this, that is Fe, is equal to 9.27 into 10 raised to power minus 27, mass of Fe, that is mass Fe. This product is this 9.27 into 10 raised to power minus 26 kg. Now we know R is equal to R0 a raised to power 1/3. So R is R cube, take this cube of this, that is R cube A. R0 is 1.2 Fermi meter. So that is 1.2 into 10 to minus 15 meter. So volume is given by 4/3 pi R cube. Now R cube is equal to R0 cube T. So R0 cube E. Volume is 4/3 pi R0 cube E. So let us put this value in this mass upon volume. The mass of iron atom is 9.27 into 10 raised to minus 27 upon volume, that is 4/3 pi R0, that is 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 15 into atomic mass number, that is 56. Iron has 56. Correct? It is given. So that is equal to 2.29, approximately you can say 2.3 also into 10 raised to power 17 kg meter. Nuclear density of iron Fe is equal to 2.29 into 10 raised to 17 kg meter cube. You can compare with the neutron star's density, almost same. Example 1, 13.2 on page number 442. Calculate the energy equivalence of 1 gram substance. So use the Einstein equation. So E is equal to mc square. M is 1 gram, that is 10 raised to power minus 3 kg. So E is equal to 10 raised to minus 3 into velocity. C is the velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 square. That is 10 raised to power minus 3 into 9 into 10 raised to power 16 joule. So 9 into 16 and 3, that is 13. So 1 gram equivalent to the 9 into 10 raised to power 13 joules. This is a very high energy. Now example 13.1 on the page numbers 462. This is the exercise example. The two stable isotopes of lithium, lithium 3,6 and lithium 3,7, have respectively abundance of 7.5% and 92.5%. These isotopes have masses 6.01512 atomic mass unit and 7.01600 atomic mass unit respectively. Find the atomic mass of lithium. Atomic mass of lithium, that is the average mass. In some book it is given as a weight also, so atomic weight, but atomic mass should be there. Right. Now this lithium, this component 3,6, one is, this is 7.5% and second one is 90.5%. 7.5% is of this one, that is 6, that is 6.0. So 7.5% of this and 92% of this, that is 7.016. Take the percentage. So 7.5% of this isotope, 6.015, that is this one of this, and 92% this percentage of this isotope, that is 7.016 atomic mass unit divided by 100, because it is a percentage. So mass of lithium is equal to the 45.1134. This multiplication is 45.1134 and this multiplication is 648.98 divided by 100. That is, make the sum of this and divide by again 100. This is divided by 100, that is 694.0934. This total is sum of this divided by 100. So just put the point, this divided by 100, that is 6.940934 unit, atomic mass unit, roughly equal to this you can consider as a 1. So 6.941 atomic mass unit is the answer. Now next one, the boron has two stable isotopes, boron B510 and B511. The respective masses are 10.01294 and AMU atomic mass unit and 11.00931 atomic mass unit. And the atomic mass of the boron is, that here mass of the boron is given, as here the mass of the lithium was given. We have to calculate, here it is given, but we have to calculate this portion. Correct? And the atomic mass of the boron is 10.811 AMU. Find the abundance of, that is percentage of boron 510 and percentage of boron 511 isotopes. Correct? Suppose the boron contains X% of boron 510, the remaining percentage will be of boron B511, that is X 100 minus X, total percentage is 100. So if X portion of this, then 100 minus X percent will be of the next one, that is remaining one 511 isotope. Then average mass, it is some average mass of boron is equal to X% of this multiplied by plus multiplied by this, that is X into 10.01294% and plus the remaining percentage of isotope, that is this 11.0093, that is 100 minus X% of this divided by 100, this is a percent. But mass of the boron is given here, so you have to calculate the X percentage. So 10.811, that is equal to minus this calculation is, that is minus 99637x plus 1100.931 divided by 100. Now you have to calculate the x. First you just multiply this, take this term on this side, multiply it, so that is 10.1111, that is 10.81.1, 10.11.1, and that is equal to this one, 9.99637x plus 1100.939. That comes about, so you can solve it and calculate for the x is equal to 19.9% of boron 510. So remaining percent, that is minus 100, that is 80.1% of B511. Tritium has a half-life period 12.5 years, undergoing a beta decay. The beta, or that is electron, charge -1 and mass 0 almost. It has mass, but almost we consider 0. What fraction of a sample of pure tritium will remain undecayed after 25 years? You know that half-life period, that is given 12.5 years. So it will become N0 by 2. Another 12 years, 12.5 years, it will reduce to again half of that, that is N0 by 4. So N0 by 4, that will be remain undecayed. Correct? The next 12.5 years it will decay, N0, whatever is there, then N0 by 2, half of this, that is N0 by 4. So left with sum of this is 1 minus this, that is also N0 by 4, that will be left. Next example is a very simple. 13.9, correct. So this is very simple example, easy. 13.9, obtain the amount of cobalt 2760. This is the isotope of cobalt used for curing the cancerous cell. It is a gamma emitter, correct. It is first emits the beta rays and then converts into nickel, which is in the excited state, emitting two gamma rays, which kill the cancerous cells. Obtain the amount of cobalt 2760 necessary to provide a radioactive source of 80 millicurie strength. It can emit the radioactive rays of also this disintegrate, that is atoms disintegrate 80 millicurie. Millicurie, that is 1000 part of a curie, and curie is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second. So 8 millicurie is equal to rate of disintegration, that is dN by dt is 8 millicurie. So 8 milli is equal to 8 into 10 to the minus 6, and a curie is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second. So total disintegration per second will be, that is 8 millicurie, and that is equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 per second, disintegration per second. So R is equal to, this calculation comes about 29.6 into 10 raised to 7 disintegration per second. This is minus 3, 10, that is 7, and this multiplication is 3.7 into 8, that is 29.6. You can orally also can do, correct. 8 7 ja 56, 6 carry 5, 3 8 ja 24 plus 5 29. This is orally, otherwise you use the log table provided to you and calculate it. So T half now is given 5.3 years, that is to be converted into second. 3 that is 5.3 into 1 year is equal to 3.16 into 10 raised to 7 seconds multiplied by 8. Converted. Now R is equal to lambda n. We want n, so n, correct. So lambda is equal to, we know, 0.693 upon T half into n, or you can take the n here and lambda upon R also, n here and lambda upon, there is n is equal to R upon lambda, n is equal to R upon lambda, you can put it, so R upon, this is reciprocal of lambda. Lambda is 0.693 upon T half, that is 1 upon lambda is T half upon 0.693. This R is already we have calculated 29.6 into 10 raised to 7, correct, into T half is 5.3 years, that is 5.3 into 3.16 into 10 raised to 7. If you remember certain values, that is the value of the lambda, what is the lambda? 0.693 upon half life period, and seconds of a year is easy to calculate, it will make your speed faster, correct. So introduce the value, the number of atoms is the 7.15 into 10 raised to 16 atoms, correct. Example 13.2 of the exercise, there is second example of exercise. The three stable isotopes of neon, neon 20, neon 21, neon 22, have respectively abundances of 90.5%, 0.27% and 9.22%. The atomic masses of three isotopes are 19.99 AMU, 20.99 AMU atomic mass unit, or U also you can write, and 21.9% atomic mass unit respectively. Obtain the average atomic mass of the neon. The average atomic mass of the neon is equal to the amount of the all three isotopes, that is 90.51% of the this one, 19.9, that is this one, correct. Then 0.27% of this isotope, that is 20.99, and 9.22% of the 21.99 isotope, correct. So 21.99 isotope, that is 9.22% divided by 100 is a percentage. So average mass of neon is sum of these three, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, that is total is 19.45.31 upon 100, that is 19.45 atomic mass unit, or U also you can write. Next example, third example, 13.3. Obtain the binding energy of a nitrogen nucleus N714 from the following data. Mass of hydrogen atom, that is proton, is 1.00783 atomic mass unit, or U. Mass of neutron is 1.00867 atomic mass unit, or U. Mass of nitrogen nucleus or atom is 14.00307 atomic mass unit. So nitrogen nucleus contains is 714, that is 7 proton and 7 neutron, remaining are neutron is equal. Correct. The mass of 7 proton will be 7 into mass of proton is 1.00783, multiply by it, that is correct. And mass of 7 neutron is 7 into 1.00, that is mass of the neutron is 1.00867 multiplied by 7, that is this one. The total is 14.11550 atomic mass unit. This is the mass of the proton and neutron in isolated form. But when you put this in the nucleus, the mass becomes less, because some mass converts into energy to bind the neutron and proton, that is 7 neutron and 7 proton in that. Correct. So mass of the nitrogen nucleus is less than that of the 7 proton and 7 neutron in isolated form. So if you put this, say this is 1 proton, 7 proton, say red is the proton, say black is the neutron. In isolated form, its mass is this much, 14.11550. But when you put together in the nucleus, then in the nucleus, the some mass converts into energy to bind them together. So mass of this nitrogen nucleus or nitrogen atom is less, and that is 14.00307. It is already given also. The difference between this, that is the binding energy. It binds the nucleons, neutron and proton all together. Correct? So that is called the mass defect. Is the difference of the mass of the nucleons in the individual or separate form minus the mass of the nucleus or nitrogen atom, that is 0.11243. This mass converts into energy to bind the nucleons together in the nucleus of nitrogen. So the binding energy is equal to 1 atomic mass unit is equivalent to the 931.5 million electron volt energy. So this mass will be equal to this multiplied by 931.5 million electron volt, that comes about 104.7 million electron volt. So binding energy of the nitrogen is 104.7 million electron volt. If you want to calculate the binding energy per nucleon, the total particles is 14. So divide by 14, you will get the binding energy per particle. That will come about round about 7.5 like that. Example 4, 13.4, that is obtain the binding energy of nucleus Fe, iron 2656 and bismuth 83209 in unit of MeV, million electron volt, from the following data. The mass of the proton is 1.00. If it is given, then you will take the given data. Mass of the proton, that is hydrogen atom, is equal to 1.007825. In some earlier example, we took the 783. So that is, in some book it is given like that. This is approximately, you can take this, add 1 in this digit, that is 3. Here it is given 1.007825. So you will have to take that one which is given. Mass, correct? Mass of the neutron is 1.008665. Mass of the neutron is slightly more, neutron is slightly heavier than the proton. It is 78, this is 86. And the mass of the iron atom, that is Fe2656, that is 55.934939 atomic mass unit. It will be round about this. It will be round about 56. This is roughly equal to 56, but not exactly 56, correct? Now mass of the bismuth, 83209, that is given. Atomic mass of the bismuth atom is 208, that is round about 209, 0.980388 atomic mass unit. Which nucleus has a greater binding energy per nucleon? Let us see the first for the iron. Iron has a maximum, we know, we have already studied from the binding energy per nucleon against the atom number, this graph. For iron 26 to 56 nucleus, the mass, there are 26 proton and remaining are neutrons. So 56 minus 26, that is 30 neutron. So mass of 26 proton is equal to mass of 1 proton into 26. Mass of 1 proton, that one, correct? 1.007825 atomic mass into this. That is equal to 26.203450 atomic mass unit. Mass of 30 neutron is 30 multiplied by mass of neutron. That is 1.0086. You multiply this, that is 30.2. It is around about 30.259950 atomic mass unit. This is the mass of the 26 proton and neutron, that is in the isolated form. But when you put together, the mass decreases because some mass converts into energy. That is 26 protons, suppose you take 1 proton, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or you can take circle, just 1, 2, these are protons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25 and 26. These are protons. Remaining are the neutrons. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 15, that is 30. These are 30 neutrons and these are 26 protons. The mass is more. Mass in the isolated form is, that is, you can say 56.4634. But when you to put together in the nucleus, that is, this is Fe2656 nucleus, that is, or you can write, this is Fe 2656. Correct? This is the atom. Now, say this is a nucleus of the atom. If you put together this particle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. 26 proton and 30 neutron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. When you put together, then mass decreases. So mass is 55 point. Here the mass is 56 point of this is 56.46 points, because some mass converts into energy to keep the particles, that is neutron and proton, all together called the nucleons in the nucleus. That is the total mass of the proton and the neutron in the isolated form. This one is 56.463400 atomic mass unit, and mass of this atom when you put together, that is somewhat less, 55.93493 atomic mass unit. So difference of the mass, that difference of this and this mass, that converts into energy, that is the 5.28461, that converts into energy according to Einstein mass energy is equal to mc square. So one atomic mass unit when converts into energy according to Einstein equation mc square, that is 931.5 million, it is equivalent energy of that mass, one atomic mass unit. So this atomic mass unit will be, you multiply by this 0.528461 multiplied by 931.5, you will get answer in the million electron volt. Now binding, and this is the binding energy of all this particle, that is 56 particle. Now what is the binding energy per particle? That divided by 56. So that comes about 8.79 million, and it is the highest. Now let us see for the bismuth 83209 nucleus, that contains 83 proton, this is atomic number, that is correct, and 209 minus 83, that is 126, remaining are the neutrons, correct. The mass of 83 protons is equal to 83 into mass of one proton, that is 1.007825, that is equal to 83.649475 atomic mass unit. I have put the U. U is the symbol of the atomic mass unit. Atomic mass unit is written in short by AMU, and it is symbolized by U. The mass of 126 neutrons is equal to multiplied by mass of the neutron with the 126 neutron, that is 127.091790 atomic mass unit, that is U. The total mass of the 83 proton and 126 neutron in isolated form is 210.741265. But when you put together in the nucleus, then the mass of this nucleus or atom bismuth 83209 is 208.9, is somewhat less. This is less, this is more. What the difference between these two, this minus this, that is 1.760877 atomic mass unit. This is the mass defect, correct. This converts into energy to keep the nucleus all together in the nucleus of bismuth. So this mass defect multiplied by 931, this is in atomic mass unit. So one atomic mass unit is equal to, already we have seen that 931.5 million electron volt. So what is the total energy of this mass? When this mass converts into energy, that is total energy in million electron volt will be 1.760877 multiplied by 931.5 million electron volt. That comes about 1640.3 million electron volt. Now binding energy per particle, number of particles are, that is 209. So divide by 209, that is 7.85 million electron volt. This is less than the binding energy of the iron. So iron has, that is iron has greater binding energy per nucleon, and it is a maximum. It has the maximum value of EBN, B for binding energy and N for nucleon per particle. Example 30.5, a given coin has a mass the copper coin has a mass of 30 gram, calculate the nuclear energy that would be required to separate all the neutrons and the protons from each other. For simplicity, assume that the coin is entirely made of copper 2963 atoms. Atomic mass of the copper is 62.92960 atomic mass unit. The masses of proton and neutrons are 1.00783 and mass of neutron is 1.00867 atomic mass unit. Correct. Mass of 29 proton, that is 29 number of proton 29 multiplied by mass of the single proton 1.00783 and that is equal to 29.22707. This is 2. That is unit is atomic mass unit. The mass of 34 neutrons is 34 multiplied by mass of a single neutron, that is 1.00867 atomic mass unit, that is multiplied by this, that comes 34.294798 atomic mass unit. The total mass of, that is total of these two, proton mass 29 proton mass and mass of 34 neutron, that is equal to 63.52185. We know that when these particles are put in the nucleus, the mass decreases, some mass converts into energy, that is mass of the atom or nucleus of copper 2963, that is somewhat less, that is 62.92960 atomic mass unit. So, this is the mass of the nucleus in isolated form and this is in the nucleus also when we put. So, difference of this is the mass defect delta m, that is 0.59225 atomic mass unit. Thus, binding energy of copper atom 2963 will be equal to 0.5922 mass defect multiplied by 931.5. As we have discussed earlier, there is one atomic mass unit is 931.5 million electron volt. That is, the total is 551.5032 million electron volt. The number of atoms in 63 grams now. Now, this is the binding energy of one copper atom. So, what is the binding energy of all copper atoms? So, we will have to calculate the number of copper atoms in 1 gram. We know that in 63 grams copper, number of atoms will be equal to the Avogadro number. So, in 3 grams, that is 3 by 63 multiplied by Avogadro number. So, number of atoms in 63 grams copper is equal to Avogadro's number and that is equal to 6.03 into 10 raised to 23 atoms. A number of atoms in 3 gram will be multiplied 3 by 63, that is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 multiplied 3 upon 63. That comes about 2.868 into 10 raised to 22 atoms. These many atoms. So, for one atom binding energy is 551. So, to multiply by this. This is total energy is to separate the all particles, that is 63 particles, that is 551.5032 into this number of atoms, correct, 2.868 into 10 raised to 22 million electron volt. That comes about, that is 1.5 this product 82 into 10 raised to power 25 million electron volts, a very high energy required to separate the all neutron and proton from the 3 grams copper. Example 13.7. A radioactive isotope has a half-life of T years. Instead of T half, it is given T years. How long will it take the activity to reduce the 3.1 to 5% and second B 1% of its original value. Know that activity is given by the equation R is equal to lambda n. N is equal to n0 e raised to minus lambda t. So, R is dn by dt. R also is given by rate of disintegration, that is if dn atoms disintegrate in dt time, the rate of disintegration, that is activity R, is given by dN by dt. So, take the derivative of this dN by dt is equal to of this derivative, that is lambda n0 e raised to minus lambda t. Put this for this is n0 e raised to minus lambda t, that is n0 e raised to minus, that is n also. So, lambda n. So, you can write lambda n. Let us put another question for lambda n0 is equal to r0. So, r0 e raised to minus lambda t, where r0 is equal to lambda n0. So, r0 is equal to lambda n0 and r is equal to lambda n. Take this ratio, the r upon r0 is equal to n upon n0. Now, n upon n0 is at number of atoms at 0 time, t is equal to 0 time, and n is the number of atoms present when it is 3.125%. Then take this ratio, that is 3.125 upon 100, that is 1 upon 32. So, n upon n0 is equal to, this could be written as a 1 upon 2 raised to power n, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 5 times, that is n is equal to 5. 2 into 2, 4 into 2, 8, 2 into 2, 16 into 2, again 32. So, t is equal to nt or pi t years, that is pi half life, you can say. Suppose time t is equal to 0, t is equal to 0, it was n0 total, correct? It was n0. We can say n0 or 100%. Then time t is equal to t half. Here it is t, here it is t, atom will be 50%, that will be 50%. Then t is equal to double time, that is 2t, let us see, that is 25%. Then t is equal to 3t, it will be 12.5%. 4t similarly, this is t is t half, that is 2 half period, 3 half period, 4 half time period and so on, that is half of this, that is 6.25%. And next 5t, again it will be half of that, that is 3.125, correct. This is half of this is actually 100%, this is half, in portion also half, then 1/4, that is 1/8, 1/16 and 1/32 part also, you can say like this also, correct. Still you go for more, then again you can go, then 6t, the half of this, that is 1.56 and so on, correct, like this. Then 7t, half of this, that is 7.7, 0.78 and so on, correct. So, now for 1%, that is less than the, more than the 0.78% and less than the 1.5, that is 1 is in between, 1 is in between. So, it will be more than the 6t and less than the 7t. His answer is at least 6.65 half life time period. Let us see. So, here it is not multiple power of the 1 upon 2, because it is 1 upon 2, that is 32, then 64, then 128 it will be. So, we can't use that one. So, we will use another method. So, R upon R0 is equal to N upon N0, that is 1 upon 100, that is the same for this. But next, required time T is equal to 2.303 upon lambda into log N0 upon N. We will change the base from e to the 10. So, we have to multiply by this. So, T is equal to 2.303 upon lambda is 0.693 upon half life period. Half life period here it is given T. So, 0.693 upon T, that is it will go up into log, this is N0 upon N is 100. This is 100 and this is 1. So, 100 by 1 is 1%, that is reciprocal of this. N by N0 is 1 upon 100. So, N0 upon N is 100. N0 upon N is 100. Correct. So, T is this calculation, that the T half is T and lambda is 0.693 upon T half. That is, this calculation is 2.303 into 2 log 100 is 2 always to the base 10 and into T half life period into upon 0.693, and that comes about 6.65 in the terms of the half life period. It is not T half, here it is given T. So, you will have to use the T, correct. So, T is for the first case it is 5T, 5 half life periods, when it reduces to 3.125% and 6.65 time period, half life time period, when it reduces to 1%. Example 13.8, normal activity of living carbon containing matter is 15 decays per minute per every gram of carbon atoms in a sample. This activity arises from the small proportion of radioactive carbon 14 present with the ordinary carbon isotopes C12. Ordinary is C12, C612, and this is C614 is the isotope, radioactive isotope. It is present with the ordinary C612. When the organism is dead, its interaction with the atmosphere which maintains the above equilibrium activity ceases and its activity begins to drop. That activity begins to drop. From the known half-life period of the carbon C14, that is 5,730 years of carbon C614 isotope of carbon of the specimen can be approximately estimated. This is the principle of carbon dating. It is the process is called the carbon dating C614. By using this method, archaeology they use this method to find out the life of that specimen when exactly become dead. Use the archaeology. Suppose a specimen from Mohenjo-daro, our civilization, old civilization, gives an activity of 9 decays per minute per gram of carbon. Estimate the approximate age of the Indus Valley civilization. From the fossil, we find out the age of the civilization. Now, given normal activity is 15, but it dead, it drops to 0, that activities. So, activities, that is R is equal to 9 atoms per, that is given, it is 9 atoms per minute per gram, Suppose a specimen from Mohenjo-daro gives an activity of 9 decays per minute per gram. So, what is the present activity? 9. So, R0 at the time 0, when civilization started, it was 15. When the specimen was dead, that R activity of this is found to be 9 decays per, in the specimen which we have got, is found to be 9 decays per minute per gram. And T half life period of the carbon 14 is also given 5,730 years. So take this ratio R upon R0. R upon R0. R is the present number of atoms, radioactive atoms present in that specimen, that is N, and R0 for the number of atoms present at the, that is lambda, but lambda is common. R is equal to lambda N, R0 is lambda N0, so lambda will be cut. So R upon R0 is N upon N0, as we have seen just before in the previous example, and N is equal to N0 e raised to minus lambda T and upon N0. So N0 will be cut, so e raised to minus lambda T. So e raised to minus lambda T is equal to R upon R0. That is, what is activity? R is 9 and R0 is 15. So 9 upon 15 is equal to e raised to minus lambda T. So take the reciprocal of this, that is e raised to lambda, change the side, e raised to lambda T is equal to 15 upon 9. Now taking the log, take the log of both the sides. Log e raised to lambda T is equal to log 15 by 9, that is 5 by 3 also you can say. So take the log, this is lambda T log e raised to e, this is 1. So lambda T is, this is, change the log to the base 10, you will have to multiply by 2.303 as we have seen in the previous example. 2.303, the log 15 upon, that is 9, that is 5 by 3, you simplify and then multiply, that is 2.303 into 0.2218, that is lambda T is equal to 0. This multiplication is 5.5109. So T is equal to, keep the T here, we want T and lambda on the right side. So T is equal to 0.5109 upon lambda, and lambda is equal to 0.693 upon half lifetime period. We know the half life period is given, and lambda is equal to 0.693 upon half life period, that is 0.693 upon half life period, that will go up, that is equal to 0.51909 into half life period upon 0.693, correct. So lambda is equal to, so T is equal to 0.5109 into half life period, this is T 5730 years upon 0.693, and that comes about 4224 years, correct. This is the life of the civilization. Half life period of strontium 3890 is 28 years. What is the disintegration rate of 15 mg of this isotope? We know the disintegration rate R, that is activity also, it is sometimes, it is also called the disintegration rate, that is dN by dt is also R, and it is also called the activity. R is the activity or disintegration rate, dN by dt, and R is equal to lambda n. And number of atoms in 15 mg, that is equal to mass of one atom upon total mass of the that is 1 mole into Avogadro number. So 1 mole has 90 grams, correct. So how many atoms will be in the 15 mg? So 15 mg is equal to, or 15 into 10 is to minus 3 grams. This you can take in kg. If you take in kg, then Avogadro number will be 10 is to power 26. So n is equal to the mass, mass, given mass 15 into 10 is, that is 15 mg upon 90 into Avogadro number 6.023 into 10 raised to power 23. So number of atoms we know n, correct. Then so R is equal to lambda n, and lambda is equal to 0.693 upon half life period, upon half life period which is given. So R is equal to 0.693 into 15 into this one into 6.023 this one upon 28 into, this is a second of the 28 years, seconds of a year is 3.1 54 into 10 raised to 7, correct. So, of 28 years multiplied by 28. So, 28 into 3.154 into 10 raised to 7, correct. So, R is equal to lambda n, and that is equal to 0.693 upon, this is upon half life period, correct, and n is the number of atoms we have already calculated, correct. Lambda is equal to 0.693 upon half life period, correct. So, 0.693 upon half life period 28 years, that is 28 years is equal to 28 into 3.15 into 10 to the 7, correct. So, this is half life period we have to do. So, this calculation comes about 7.877 disintegration per second. It is also called the back viral, correct. Next example 12.11. Sorry, it is a 13.11. Obtain approximately the ratio of the nuclear radii of the gold isotope 79, 197 and the silver isotope 147, 107. This is atomic number, this is atomic mass number of Ag, that is silver. What is the approximate nuclear mass density? What is the ratio of the radii and the nuclear mass density? Densities, you know, remain the same. It doesn't depend upon the size of the nucleus. Whatever size, more the size, there will be more with the volume. So, the density is the same, and it is about 2.3 approximately to power 10 raised to 17 kg per meter cube. It is a very high density. The density of the neutron star, you can compare it with this, we have already discussed. We know that radius of the nucleus given by the equation R is the radius of the nucleus, is equal to R0 a raised to power 1/3, correct. The A is the atomic mass number, R0 is the constant. So, R0 is equal to 1.1 Fermi meter, that is equal to 1.1 into 10 raised to power 15 minus 15, that is 1 Fermi meter, that is equal to, you can say 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 15 meters also, correct. 1 Fermi meter is equal to 10 raised to minus 15 meter. It is the unit used to measure the size of a nucleus, which is very less. For atomic size, we use the Austin unit, which is 10 raised to minus 10 meters. So, radius of the gold nucleus AU, that is R0 into AU raised to 1/3. RAG is equal to R0 A raised to 1/3 AG. So, R gold upon RAG is equal to 197 upon this one, correct, raised to power 1/3, correct. This R0 will be cut. So, AU upon AG, that is AU is 197, AG is 107 raised to 1/3, correct, cube root of this one, and the cube root of this one is 1.23, that is the answer. Now, let us see for the density is always same. Nuclear mass density is equal to mass of the nucleus upon volume. Mass of the nucleus is, suppose mass of the one particle, neutron or proton approximately say considered same is m, and number of particle is a, that is neutron plus proton altogether, that is a. So, total mass is the ma upon volume 4 upon 3 pi r cube. So, it is equal to ma upon 4 upon 3 pi r0, r is equal to r0 a raised to cube. So, r cube is equal to r0 cube into a, r0 cube into a. So, a will be cut. So, that will be m upon 4 upon 3 pi r0 cube. These are the constant, or m is constant, r0 is constant, correct. So, rho will be constant, that is, it is independent of the size of the nucleus. Since the nuclear mass density is independent of the size of the nucleus, so the ratio of the densities will be the same one, and we know that density is of all elements is about 2.3, it is 29 approximately. You can take 2.3 to 10 raised to power 17 kg per meter cube, very high density, and it is same for all. We have seen that in the operation of the nuclear reactor, the gamma rays or ultraviolet rays, X-rays, high energy rays are produced which are harmful for the human being, so it needs a great care. Correct? That is the hazardous or drawbacks of this plant. So let us see now numericals 13.13. The radionuclide carbon 11 decays according to the carbon C611 into the boron 511 plus positron plus neutrino. Correct? The half time period of this is 20.3 minutes. The maximum energy of emitted electron is, positron is an antiparticle of electron, it has a plus charge, electron has minus charge, correct? So this is a positron is equal to 0.960 million electron volt. The mass of carbon nuclei atoms is C611 is 11. This isotope of carbon is 11.011434 atomic mass unit. The mass of 511 boron is 11.009305 atomic mass unit. You remember, if this is 11 atomic mass number A, this will be almost round about 11 and something, correct? But complete will be 11, round about 11. Except is a very high atomic mass number. Mass of electron is, that is equal to the mass of positron. The only charge is different. Masses are the same. That is equal to 0.000548 atomic mass unit. Calculate the Q and compare it with the maximum energy of the positron emitted. We have to calculate the energy and maximum energy with which the positron is emitted. We have to calculate the energy of this. Now let us see the equation carbon C611 that converts into the boron and the positron and the gamma ray plus energy. Neutrino plus barabar boron 511 plus positron plus this is a neutrino. Simple is just list like a gamma ray is a neutrino plus amount of energy Q due to the kinetic energy of these particles or daughter element. This is parent elements. These are daughter elements. The Q is equal to the mass difference of this, correct? The mass difference of that is the mass of the carbon atom minus the mass of nucleus of the boron. This is N, capital N for nucleon, is not for neutron, or mass of carbon atom also you can say carbon C611 or nucleus of this. The nucleus of this boron is 6, this we will have to minus. From this mass we have to minus this mass, minus Me, correct, into C square. This is the mass defect. It will give the difference of the mass of the reactants minus the mass of the products, that is parent elements, mass of the parent element minus the mass of daughter elements, that will give the mass defect, and mass defect into C square, correct. So here there are two products and daughter elements are 2, so we have to minus this mass of and this one. Now to express the Q value in terms of atomic masses, we have to subtract the mass of electron also. In a carbon atom, its charge is 6, so there are 6 protons, so there will be 6 electron also, correct. So mass of 6 electron, 6 Me, mass of 1 electron is Me, so 6 electron will be 6 Me from the atomic masses of carbon, and 5 Me for this is 5 this is boron, it is 511. So charge of boron is 5, that is 5 protons, so 5 electrons are there, as a whole atom is neutral. So and the 5 Me from the atomic mass of boron. Therefore, Q can be written again as a mass of carbon 11 minus electrons mass in the carbon, that is 6 Me, minus mass of boron, minus will be plus, that is 5 Me, that is mass of electron which are in the boron atom, minus Me. Barabar? So that is equal to, say, M 6 minus is the 11. Minus boron 511 minus 2 Me, bracket complete, C square, and that is equal to 11 point. The mass of carbon C611 is this one, it is given, correct, it is already given. C611 is this, boron is this one, and electron is also given in the data, correct, that is, you know, that electron mass is 0.00548. So 2 mass of electrons, correct, here this is mass of carbon atom minus mass of this, total actually 6 electrons, minus 1, 7 minus and plus 5, that is net is the 2 Me, correct. So mass of the carbon atom is given already, the mass of boron atom is also given, and mass of this electron is also given. So calculate this, this comes about 0.9622 million electron volt. So Q is equal to this is mass defect multiplied by C square, that will give, that is mass defect multiplied by 931, because this is an atomic mass unit, and 1 atomic mass unit is equal to 931.5. Sometimes they ask, calculate the energy by using the Einstein mass energy relation equation for the when 1 atomic mass unit converts into energy, that is 1 atomic mass is equivalent to the energy 931.5 million electron volt. So this comes about 9.9622 million volt. Now Q is equal to, the total Q is equal to kinetic energy of boron plus positron plus neutrino. So this is daughter element, D for daughter, energy of daughter element, energy of positron and energy of neutrino. Now daughter nucleus is much heavier, this is much heavier, this boron is much heavier than this. So energy mostly will be the kinetic energy of these two. If you consider the energy of neutrino is almost 0, then energy will be totally due to the positron. So ED is 0 because it is heavier one, it won't move much more. When the energy of the neutrino is minimum, this will be maximum, and the maximum will be equal to Q, which is given in the 960, it is also 9622, almost same. Now 13.15 numerical, the Q value of a nuclear reaction A plus B is equal to C plus, that gives C plus D. These are the products, these are the reactants, or we can say parent element, these are daughter element. Is defined by Q is equal to the energy produced in the reaction is energy of the, this is mass of the reactants minus mass of the products multiplied by C square. There is a mass, this will give the, if you subtract the mass of this C and D from the A and B, you will get the mass defect multiplied by C, that is MA plus MB minus MC minus MD. MA plus MB, mass of this, minus MC plus MD multiplied by the C square, where masses refer to the nuclear rest masses. Determine from the given data whether the following reaction is exothermic or endothermic. Exothermic, that is if Q is positive, it is exothermic. If it is endothermic, Q is negative. Let us calculate the Q. For the first case, these equations are given. H11 that is hydrogen plus tritium that gives a deuterium H12, 2 deuterium 1 2. The carbon C612 plus C612, 2 carbon atom that gives a neon 1020 plus He24. The atomic masses are given to be, their atomic masses of hydrogen is given, deuterium is also given, tritium is also given, carbon is also, neon is also given, correct? So, the He24 also is given, correct? That is, datas are given, so you put this value in this equation. First equation, let us consider the H11 plus H13 gives the H12 plus H12, that is 2 atoms of this. H11 plus H13 that gives H12 plus H12. So, mass of this plus mass of tritium 13 minus the mass of the product multiplied by C square. This, if you subtract the mass of these two from the, that is the daughter element from the parents element, you will get the mass defect, correct? That is a minus m mass of this plus, or you can multiply 2 also directly into C square, correct? So, Q is equal to mass of the hydrogen, that is 1.007825 plus mass of the tritium isotope of hydrogen, it has 3 deuterium and tritium 3 isotope, the 3.1016047 minus mass of deuterium, and these are 2 deuterium. So, 2 into mass of the deuterium is given, it is 2.01412, everything is given. So, you have to just put the equation, and that is equal to this 3 plus 1 4 and this whatever, that it comes about 4.023874 minus this multiplication 4.028204, correct, multiplied by 930. This will be in AMU, this will be in AMU, correct. So, multiply by directly in the with the 931.5, that is what we have written here, that is equal to this one, that is in the MEV, when, correct. If mass is taken in kilogram and this is, or sorry, atomic mass unit, then and multiply with the 931.5, the energy you will get in the MeV, because 1 atomic mass unit is equal to 931.5 million electron volt. So, this many atomic mass unit is equal to what is that, is multiply with this difference, multiply by 931.5. So, Q is equal to, now minus, this is more, you know. So, minus 0.00433, correct. This is more than this. The mass of the products is more than the mass of the reactants, and multiply by 931.5, that is Q is minus 4.0033 million electron volt, that is it is endothermic, energy is negative, Q is negative. Just we have seen that the endothermic reaction, the Q is negative, that is you will have to supply to start the reaction that much energy. So, lighter element, if you want to fuse, you will have to supply energy. Let us see the, now second case, the carbon, it forms from the, to the neon and the He24. So, Q is equal to the 2m, carbon 2 atoms, that is 2 nuclei, that is 2 carbon C612, that is double mass, that minus the mass of the product, that is neon 1020 plus mass of the He24, helium 24 square, multiplied by C square. This mass defect multiplied by C square, you will get the energy according to the Einstein equation. If you calculate this mass in the atomic mass unit, then you multiply directly with the 931.5, you will get answer in the million electron volt, what we did in the past example. So, 2 into mass of the carbon is 12, you know, minus this neon, mass of the neon, that is 19.20, that is 19.992439 atomic mass unit, plus this 4 point mass of the helium, that is 4.002603 multiplied by, because this is taken in atomic mass unit, so you can multiply by 931.5. That will be, answer will be in million electron volt. So this is equal to 24 minus this multiplication, this is this plus addition is 19 plus 4 23, and plus this one you can, that is 23.995042 multiplied by 931.5 billion electron volt. So Q is here positive, this is more. The energy of the reactant is more than the energy of the product. So Q is positive, that is, it is exothermic reaction. Example 13.18, a 1000 megawatt fission reactor consumes half of its fuel in 5 years. How much uranium-92-235 did it contain initially? That is to be calculated. Assume that the reactor operates 80% of the time, that all energy generated arises from the fission uranium-92-235, and that this nuclide is consumed only by the fission process, the energy. So we will have to calculate the 80% of the energy in the 5 years. So total energy is generated in 5 years with 80% on the time, that 80% of the power into time, that is energy, total energy in, correct, and the power is 1000 megawatt, that is 10⁹ watt, and time T is 5 years, convert into second, that is 5 into second of 1 year is 3.154 into 10⁻⁷ second, correct. These are the seconds of 1 year, 3.154 into 10⁷. So seconds of 5 years multiplied by 5, correct. So this is the energy generated in 5 years. So 0.8 into 80%, that is 80 by 100, that is 0.8 into power 10⁹ watt into time, that is 5 years, that is 5 into 3.154 into 10⁷, correct. That is second, that is, this will be in the joule, answer will be in joule. So energy generated in each fission is, now we have to calculate the quantity, so we have to calculate the mass, correct. So and the energy generated in one uranium atom, fission of one uranium atom, we know that it is 200 million electron volt, that is converted into joule. 200 into 10⁻⁴ million electron volt, that is 10⁻⁶ into this electron volt converted into joules, by multiplying the 1.6 into 10⁻⁻⁹, that will be the joule. Now number of atoms in 1 gram of uranium, the energy generated in each fission is, this product is 2 into 10⁻⁷, you can write 8, correct, 8 minus 119, that is minus 11. So 2 into 1.6 into 10⁻⁻11 joule. This is simplify this. Now calculate the number of atoms. Number of atoms in 1 gram, that is equal to 6 into 10⁻23 upon 235. You know that in 235 grams, the number of atoms is Avogadro number, that is 6 into 10⁻23. If it is not given, if it is given 6, you take the 6, otherwise it is in some book it is given 6.023 into 10⁻23. This is in gram. If it is in kg, if you take in kg, then it will 26 power. So energy generated per gram will be, in 1 gram number of atoms is this, and correct, and in 1 atom energy generated is 2 into 1.6. So total energy in 1 gram, when 1 gram uranium undergoes a fission, that is equal to the number of atoms in 1 gram, that is 6 into 10⁻23 upon 235, multiplied by the energy produced in a 1 fission of 1 atom, that is this one. Correct? The amount of uranium consumed in 5 years with 80% on the time, that is the total energy generated in 5 years, correct, that is we have calculated this one, total energy 80% of PT upon the energy generated per gram, this is energy generated per gram, then divide by this. So 0.8 into 10 raised to 9 into 5 into 3.154 into 10 raised to 7 upon this one, that is this will go up, that is 2 into 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to power 23, correct, and this will go up, that is 235. This amount is this calculation is 1.544 into 10 raised to 6 gram, correct, that is converted to kg by dividing 1000, that is 1544 grams, or you can say 1.544 kg also. This is half of this, correct, that is what is the double. Initially it is taken double, that this amount is half of the fuel taken initially. So mass of the uranium taken initially will be double, that is 2 into 1544 grams, that is equal to 3088 gram, or you can say 3.088 kg. Example 13.16, suppose we think of fission of a iron 2656 nucleus into the two equal fragments of aluminum, that is 1328. Is the fission energetically possible? Argue by working out Q of the process. Now given that the mass of the iron is 55.93494 atomic mass unit, and mass of the aluminum 1328 is 27.98191 atomic mass unit. The difference in the mass, you can write the equation. If you convert the iron into two aluminum atoms or nuclei, that is Fe 2656, that will be transmitted or changed or transferred into the aluminum 1328, that is two atoms or nuclei plus energy generated. Now calculate the mass defect. This is initial mass is this, the mass of the product you minus from the reactance mass, this is reactant mass of Fe, that is reactant mass of Fe minus 2 mass of aluminum nuclide, multiplied by C square. This is mass defect mass, and energy release will be mc square, or you can directly calculate one atomic mass is equal to 931.5 million electron volt. So this mass of the iron is 55.93494, correct, minus mass of aluminum, that is this multiplied double, that is 22 into 27.98191 multiplied by 931.5 MeV, because this is in MEU, this is in AMU, that is atomic mass unit. So atomic mass unit, mass into C square, that is you can calculate the energy, or you can multiply by direct the mass defect multiplied by 931.5 million electron volt. Remember this is, and that is equal to minus, this is more than this, correct. So this is equal to 0, this is about 54 points. So 0.02888 multiplied by 931, this difference is 0.28888, that is multiplied by 931. So this is minus, that is minus 26, is a very high energy, as the Q value is negative, and it is negative, so fission is not possible, energy won't be generated. Otherwise you can convert the iron into aluminum. Aluminum is costlier than the iron, but it is not possible. The scientists, they tried after artificial transmutation, they tried to convert the mercury into gold, but they failed. Next example 13.17. The fission properties of uranium-94-239 are very similar to those of uranium-92-235, correct. The average energy released per fission is 180 million electron volt. How much energy in MeV is released if all the atoms in 1 kg pure plutonium 94-239 undergoes fission? So we will have to calculate the number of atoms in 1 kg, and in one atom the energy produces 180 million electron volt. So calculate the number of atoms first. The number of atoms in 239 gram uranium will be equal to the Avogadro number. Here it is given, so you can take this 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. Therefore, number of atoms present in 1000 grams will be 6.023 into 10 raised to 23, correct, in the 239, that is, this is in 1 gram, correct. If you divide by this, then it will be, you will get in 1 gram, that multiplied by 1000, that is correct. Number of atoms in 239 gram, this is Avogadro number, correct. Atomic mass that contains the number of atoms equal to the Avogadro law, Avogadro number, and Avogadro number is 6.023 into 10 raised to 23. Now, number of in 239 grams, number of atom is this. So, how many number of atoms will be in 1000 grams? So, that will be 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 multiplied by 1000 divided by 239. That comes about 2.5452 into 10 raised to the power 24. Now, in 1 gram, energy release, 1 atom energy release 180. Number of atoms undergoes the fission is this much. So, what is the energy release in this atom when undergoes the fission? Multiply it. So, total energy release is equal to 2.52 into 10 raised to power 24 atoms multiplied by the energy release in when 1 atom of plutonium undergoes the fission, that is 180. That comes about, this product is 4.54 into 10 raised to power 26 billion electron volt. That is the answer. Next example 13.19, that is example number 19. How long an electric lamp of 100 watt can be kept glowing by fusion of 2 kg deuterium? The fusion reaction can be taken as the deuterium plus deuterium, 2 deuterium, that is H12, that is isotope of hydrogen, it is correct. It has charge 1 and mass 2, that is helium 2,3 plus neutron plus 3.2 million electron volt energy is released. Now, we will have to calculate number of atoms in the 2 kg. The number of atoms in 2 gram deuterium, atomic mass is 2 gram, that will be equal to the number of atoms in the Avogadro number, that is 6 into 10 raised to 23. So, number of atoms in 2 kg, in 2 gram is this, so 2 kg will be 2000 times, correct, divided by 2 in 2 gram. So, you can take for a 1 gram, how much? 6 into 10 raised to power 23. So, one step I have eliminated, correct. So, in 2 grams this much, in 1 gram you divide by 2, and in 2 kg multiply by 200,000, correct. So, that is very simple mathematics. Energy release in fusion of that, this number of atom is 6 into 10 raised to 26. Now, energy release in fusion of 2 deuterium atom, in 2 deuterium atom, 1 and 2, that is 3.2, correct. So, in 1 deuterium atom, that is divided by 2, and number of deuterium atoms in 2 kg is 6 into this. So, total energy is released when 2 kg deuterium undergoes fission, that is 3.2 by 2 multiplied by 6 into 10 raised to 26, and that is equal to, this is 3, cut, and 3, 3, 9 and 3, 2, 6, that is 9.6 into 10 raised to power 26 million electron volt. That is 9.6 into 10 raised to power 26 into convert into joule by multiplying by 1. This million electron volt, that is 10 raised to 6 power, and multiply by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, that is, and multiply by 6, that is million electron volt. So, that is directly I have written 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 13 joules. 1 million electron volt, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. So, 1 million electron volt is equal to how many joules? 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 multiplied by 10 raised to 6, that is 10 raised to minus 13 joules. So, that comes about 15.34 into 10 raised to 13 joules, minus 13 and 26, that is plus 13, and this product is 15.34, 9.6 multiplied by 1.6. let T be the time for which the bulb will glow. Now energy, total energy is this one. So energy consumed by the bulb in time T will be total energy in T time. Suppose bulb glows for T seconds, then it is a power into time. Power is correct. So PT is equal to, what is the total energy? Total energy is 15.34 into 10 raised to 13 joules. Total energy is 15.34 into 10 raised to 13 joules. So time T is equal to total energy divided by power. Power is given. So total energy is this much divided by power 100 watt. Correct? That will be in the second. So 15.34 into 10 raised to 13 upon 100 watt, 100 into 3.5 into 10 raised to 7, that is you divide by this, that is you will get answer in years. Here you will get second. Now this second you want to convert into years, divide by the seconds of a year, that is 3.154 or 15 approximately into 10 raised to power 7. That is how many years? This will be years. And this calculation is 4.9 into 10 raised to 4 years. So bulb will be kept glowing for about 4.9 into 10 raised to 4 years. Example 13.20. Calculate the height of the potential barrier for a head-on collision of two deuterium. It is given, height of the potential barrier is given by the Coulomb's repulsion between the two deuterium atoms when they just touch each other. Assume that they can be taken as a hard spheres of radius 2 Fermi-meter. 1 Fermi-meter is equal to 10 raised to minus 15 meters. So 2 Fermi-meters is a distance, radius is given, correct? So distance between the centers of this will be that will be 4 Fermi-meter. Let us see. The radius is, this R is 2 Fermi-meter, this is 2 meters and this is also 2 meters. So if we take is a radius, this is R and R, it is actually 2R, but radius is R is 2R, R is equal to 2R. That is actually it will be a 4R. What will be that? This is say R. If you instead of capital R you change this, this is R and this is also a R. So distance between them is actually 2R. So if you consider the R radius of this and of this, correct, then this distance will be 2R. 2R, correct. So R is equal to 2 Fermi-meter. Correct? R is equal to the distance between them two is double the radius. And radius is 2 Fermi, so it will be 4 Fermi-meters. The deuterium D12 or H12 also you can write, that is a charge on each deuterium is 1. This is a number of protons equal to electrons also, the charge, this is a mass number, correct. This is Z. So Z is E, is electronic charge, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 15 meters. And radius of the deuterium is 2 Fermi-meter. This is 2 Fermi-meter, this is also 2, totally 4 distance. That is 2 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter. The Coulomb barrier is given by U is equal to potential energy, K Q1 Q2 upon R. Now R is equal to, this is 2R is R. Distance between these two charges. See, this is E charge. Q is equal to E. Say Q1, Q2 also you can say Q1 is equal to E, Q2 is equal to E, and Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to E, both charge. The distance between them is 2R. So R is equal to 2R, that is K E square upon Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to E. That is a very simple, K is square upon 2R. So, K is 9 into 10 raised to 9 power into charge of electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, that is square of this, upon 2R, that 2 into R is 2 into 10 raised to 2 Fermi meter, that is 2 into 10 raised to minus 15 meters. Answer will be in Joule. This calculation comes about U is equal to 360 kilowatt electron watt. It's a very high electricity repulsion, you can say, correct. It will same charge, that is it will repel. Next 13.21, from the relation R is equal to R0 A raised to 1/3, the radius of the nucleus R is given by R0 into A raised to 1/3, that is cube root of atomic number. A is the atomic number, where R0 is the constant and A is the mass number, atomic mass number of a nucleus. Show that the nuclear matter density is nearly constant, that is, it is independent on atomic mass number. Whatever the mass number of the nucleus, density remains the same. That is, it does not depend upon the size of the nucleus. If bigger is the size, more will be the volume. So, ratio will be mass upon volume will be the same. Let us see mathematically. Let A be the mass number and R is the radius of a nucleus. M is the average mass of nucleus, that is either proton or neutron, that is average of this neutron proton, correct. One particle, that is. So, there are A particles, so total mass will be M times A. Mass of the nucleus will be M times A, particle into mass number. Mass of one particle M into, that is mass of, average mass of a nucleon or particle, neutron or proton either, into number of neutron proton number, that is atomic mass number. And volume is given by the 4/3 pi R cube. You know the volume of the sphere, that is 4/3 pi R is equal to R0 A raised to cube, and that is cube. So, that is equal to 4/3 pi R0 cube into A, correct. This is the volume. So, now density is given by the mass upon volume, the mass of nucleus, that is mass of nucleus Ma upon volume, that is 4/3, correct, 4/3 pi R0 cube A. The 3 will go up, that is A will be cut, cancel. So, 3m upon 4 pi R0 cube. This does not depend upon the size or atomic mass number. So, correct, that is. Thus, nuclear density is independent of the mass number A or the size of the nucleus. R0, you know the constant, 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Also, you can calculate also the density, that is in the power of about 2.3 into 10 raised to power 17 is the density of the neutron stars.